Welcome to National Focus. I'm Nisha Charles. Coming up, the information communication technology sector remains high on government's agenda. $348,000 to increase agriculture production in the north, and the AIDA Diva makes its first call to Dominica. Stay with us for details of these and other stories after this. Thanks for staying with us. The development of the information communication technology, the ICT sector, remains high on government's agenda. So says the Honorable Minister for Information, Science, Telecommunications and Technology, Kelva Daru. Honorable Daru, who is Acting Minister for Education, was addressing a workshop on Monday, which was geared at training teachers to employ new teaching methods to incorporate ICT in their instructions.
We believe it is strategically important to develop citizens who can competently and efficiently operate and add value to the new systems in the 21st century workplace. The first step towards this objective was the provision of the tablet computers, which has been widely accepted by our students as a valuable tool that they can use to make learning more dynamic and rewarding. We recognize, however, that in order to derive maximum benefit from the new devices, our teachers must be trained to employ new teaching methodologies and incorporate ICT in their instruction.
The Organization of American States has also proposed an Information Technology Academy for Dominica to facilitate ongoing capacity building in ICT tools.
This will provide access to 6,000 online programs for increasing human resource efficiencies and cost savings, not only in education, but also across all government sectors. As government, in the Ministries of Education and Technology, we welcome these OAS initiatives because they add significant value to the work that has already been done locally to advance growth in the ICT sector.
The ICT policy is also being reviewed.
The government of Dominica is currently reviewing an ICT policy which envisions the use of broadband technology for the development of key sectors such as education, tourism, and health. The policy is also expected to guide the use of technologies in classrooms. Plans for improved broadband capacity includes full connectivity and networking of all Dominican schools to facilitate teaching and learning. The development of broadband is a core priority for my ministry, the Ministry of Science, Information, Telecommunications and Technology. And we are working towards the necessary regulatory and policy reforms as well as pursuing public-private sector partnerships and making strategic investments.
Government has invested in the Center for Excellence and Innovation at the Dominica State College, which is partly funded by the Republic of India, which seeks to position Dominica to make strides in e-education, cybercrime fighting, and e-tourism. The center seeks to position Dominica as a leader in ICT innovation in the OACS and CARICOM. In the DLP's 2014 manifesto, government promised to collaborate with the relevant private sector concerns to contribute to the further development of the country's ICT infrastructure and skills so that the country arrives at the cutting edge of the ICT revolution. In other news, Dominica is receiving support from the Organization of American States Corporation Development Fund to increase agriculture production and alleviate poverty, particularly in the north and northeast of the island. GIS News spoke with coordinator of the program, Ammonia Paul Roll, who noted government's priority to reduce poverty on the island. She says in the last country poverty assessment, the parish of St. Andrew in the north of the island was one of the worst affected areas. The project, dubbed Productive Employment, aims to, among other things, assist existing farmers, increase production, and spark the interest of the youth in agriculture.
The project is a response to part of our poverty reduction effort. And so we've targeted the north and northeast for this project because the parish of St. Andrew had the highest severity of poverty in the last country poverty assessment. It also featured highly for the head count of poverty in terms of population, so it came out about fourth in terms of the population and poverty rates. So that's the major reason why the north and northeast were targeted. Also, we've noted that when agriculture thrives in the rural communities, the entire country benefits and the entire country does well in terms of our gross domestic product. So we thought if we revive rural agriculture, we could probably see that kind of result. So that's the basic reason for the targeting of the northeast and focusing on productive agriculture.
Rule explained the three main components of the project.
One has to do with establishing a farmers' field school, and that farmers' field school looks at ginger, onions, and poultry production. So hopefully we are expecting that 45 farmers will benefit from that particular component. We will see an increase in productivity. We also want to target an increase in the acreage of these particular products, onions and ginger, and of course an increase in poultry production. So that's one component. The second component has to do with introducing technology into agriculture. And so we've noted too that young people are not so inclined to dirty agriculture. And so the idea is to have a demonstration facility for hydroponics in the north. And so we expect students and farmers would see how we grow produce in water, vegetables particularly in water, and so they would be, hopefully they would be excited about doing that type of agriculture.
The third component is training. She says the National Employment Program will engage young, skilled persons to ensure that they are certified for work in the Caribbean single market and economy. The project is being implemented with the Ministry of Trade in collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture and Education. Productive employment is expected to last a year, and by the end of the project, it is estimated that over 150 farmers will be impacted. The cost of the project is $348,000. The AIDA Diva made its first call to Dominica on Tuesday. The ship, carrying about 2,000 passengers and 600 crew, docked at the Woodbridge Bay port early Tuesday morning.
It's a pleasure to have you here and to bring you to Dominica. And as we are aware that you're going to be making some 9 more calls to Dominica, and we know that the products that we offer here in Dominica, as we are known as the nature island of the Caribbean, is in fact a unique product for your guests. And we would like to ensure that most of your guests get off the vessel and go and enjoy themselves in the nature island of the Caribbean. Truly, we know that you will be making visits in the future at the other ports in Roseau, and we would like to ensure that as smoothly as you berthed or docked alongside today, the same will happen in Roseau, and we will make it as easy and comfortable for the ship coming alongside and the disembarkation and embarkation of the passengers. We want to make sure that all your passengers, when they come from the shore and their various excursions, that they come back and that they in fact rate Dominica at the highest possible that they can, because we depend on those ratings to be able to help us to move the process forward.
Gerard Jacques is the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism.
If you see something right now and you think it's awesome, just wait to see what it's going to be like, let's say even 3-6 months from now. So we believe that the destination is going to be, the relationship is going to be a rewarding one for the AIDA and for Dominica, and we look forward to your continued presence. Thank you very much for coming, and welcome.
Hans Victor represented the ship's agent, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited.
We want to hope that you will enjoy your stay here in Dominica today, that your passengers and also your staff and crew will get a chance to view our beautiful island and to enjoy the scenery and the beautiful sights that we have to offer. As
usual, the ship's captain and the Dominican party exchanged tokens. The AIDA Diva will make 10 calls this season, one every other week. The ship is based in Germany and most of its passengers are German, followed by Austrian and Swiss. Before Dominica, the ship docked in St. Lucia, and after Dominica, AIDA Diva will visit Guadeloupe. 174 calls are projected for this cruise season, which includes 9 new cruise ships. The next inaugural call is planned for December 2nd. You're watching National Focus. More when we return.
Protection from abuse is every child's right. Everyone has a shared responsibility in protecting the child from abuse.
Mothers, believe your children when they say they've been abused, and follow through with child abuse cases when they've been reported.
For more information on child abuse or to report suspected cases on child abuse, contact the Social Welfare Division on 33 Great Marlborough Street or call 266-3020 or 266-3080.
Welcome back. The President's Charities Foundation, on its annual Christmas donation tour, has eased the load of the Grotto Home for the Homeless. Representatives of the foundation were at the Grotto on Tuesday morning. His Excellency, the Acting President, Conrad McIntyre, delivered a few remarks.
What you do here is really a calling from above. It is not always easy and practical for us to accept that we must help those more challenged by circumstances. But what your work is tremendously important and rewarding. And if you don't get your reward down here, you know that it will certainly come from above. I know from time to time you get certain donations from the community, and I would urge the general public to be very supportive of this institution and to help it in whatever way they can.
The donation comes from the President's Charities Foundation Special Erica Relief Fund. Generally, the foundation holds a dinner fundraiser every year to be able to contribute to the needs of charitable organizations on the island. The 12th such event took place in July of this year.
One of the charities that is particularly dear to the hearts of His Excellency President Savre and Mrs. Savre, and they've asked me to convey their own wishes to you. I also want to add my own personal good wishes and to pray for God's blessings on all the management and the residents, the blessings of God's love to all of you.
Parry Bellot is the Public Relations Officer of the Grotto Home.
We have been really challenged these last couple of years in raising funds for the new grotto. I'm challenged because we've been, I think, doing our reasonable best, but the economy being what it is, and not only in Dominica but throughout the world, has presented significant challenges that we had not anticipated. But I want to stress the one institution, and I mean this genuinely, that has always been there for us is none other than the Office of the President of Dominica.
The foundation was started by former President, the deceased Nicholas J. O. Liverpool. The Dominica Council on Aging is gearing up for the first ever conference on the elderly in Dominica from November 30th to December 1st, 2015. The Caribbean Conference on Aging, Elder Abuse and the Rights of the Older Persons is the third of its kind in the region. It is hoped that recommendations coming out of the conference can be brought to government's attention to advance the work being done on islands to care for the elderly.
It is not a government operation or a government workshop, a government-based workshop, but is supported strongly by governments. Our national government also is a very strong supporter of this conference. So our hopes are that our discussion will be mature. They will be technical in a sense, but they will also get the grassroots support and ideas integrated into what they come through with. That will allow us to move forward with how we address the issue of the elderly in the Caribbean. It would be good if, coming from this conference, there will be subsequent actions that will put on the table formally to our governments through institutions like CARICOM and the OECS Commission, and that we can develop very strong networks between the persons who will be making those presentations to us now. They're quite varied. As we said, we had ECLAC, but we also have presentations coming from UWI and other sources.
A major component of the conference is to develop a regional framework for the prevention of elderly abuse. Supernumerary member of the board of the council, Colin Bully, says the conference will allow for speedier implementation of actions to be taken.
The Council for the Aging has been in existence for a number of years. It has struggled in a sense in developing membership, and it has now got over 29, 30 local members, we call them affiliates, who are doing very basic grassroots and important work in our country. So we are developing a model, I would say, for the lesser Caribbean in terms of how we can organize and provide for the elderly. This conference puts us to a new level, a level now of council that has regional scope and has the ability to manage regional activities such as this conference, and we're very hopeful that the conference will allow us to have that expansion that we want. And through that expansion and through the publicity that we will receive through yourselves will allow us to strengthen our own national capacities and strengthen the support that we can give to Dominica elderly persons.
At least one Dominican is looking out for the centenarians this Christmas. Agnan St. Louis of Collyho is a beekeeper, and even after losing more than 30 hives due to Tropical Storm Erica, he has decided to keep up his tradition of sharing his blessings with Dominica's treasures.
Me and my family, wife get together and we decided we're going to make some contribution to the state. How can we make it? So we decided we will donate to the centenarians. But for it to be shared equally, we go through the Ministry of Social Services and we contribute it every year. Whether it's 30, 40, 20 centenarians, 1 bottle per centenarian every year.
Assistant Secretary in the Ministry of Social Services, Joyette Fabian, expressed thanks on behalf of the ministry. She says the honey will form part of this year's Christmas hamper to centenarians.
On behalf of the Ministry of Social Services, let me extend heartfelt thanks to you, Mr. St. Louis, for this generous donation. As you said, it's for the centenarians, and a bottle of honey is usually included in the gift hampers that we prepare for the centenarians. Mr. St. Louis contacts the ministry yearly, early in the year, to find out how many centenarians we have, and he delivers the honey himself early enough that we can have them ready for our presentation. So Mr. St. Louis, thank you very much.
The island currently has 24 centenarians. And that's the English news. Coming up next, Creole Highlights with McPherson St. Luce.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non, moi c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, moun qui engage dans le secteur agricole te ka prendre pli manière pour manager black sector car en collaboration avec Bank Development Kawaib, ka conduit un workshop de semaines ka concerne management maladie là. Permanent secrétaire ministre agriculture Harold Gis fait parole que ministre la travaille bien wed ka concerne management maladie là.
C'est un programme qui a conduit avec l'argent pour faire programme ça qu'a sorti CDB, Caribbean Development Bank. Comme ça, bon matin, nous avons une opening ceremony. Mais le programme là même, c'est pour regarder comment nous allons montrer habitants, avec les gens qui ont fait extension, avec les gens qui ont fait recherche en agriculture, comment pour ça ménager Black Sigatoka. Black Sigatoka, c'est une maladie, figue de banane, qui a dommagé l'industrie dominique, avec nous avons perdu la place en les UK, nous avons perdu la place en région, avec ça a mené figue dans les journaux tout bonnement.
This fait parole qui programme là qui assiste le ministre et puis l'industrie fait la même.
Comme ça, nous, à présent, un programme qui va aller et c'est aider habitants, aider les gens qui font recherche, aider le ministère de l'Agriculture, comment pour mais ménager traitement black sikatoka. Mais c'est pas seulement black sikatoka. Nous besoin ménager industrie figue là même. Pour ça c'est un plus grand portrait pour nous, pour ça ménager figue. Parce qu'il fait black sikatoka c'est tellement mauvais. Il fait tout le monde concentrer en l'aide tout le monde avec toutes les autres bagailles qu'on pour délivrer nourrissement pour figue, pour délivrer seclé figue, pour délivrer faire dalle, tout ça pour drainage, avec tagging, ribbon, toutes ces bagailles ça là. Ces habitants pas qu'à faire ça encore. Comme ça, même si nous tapons Black Segatoka, nous n'y dans contrôle, nous qui style avec mauvaise qualité, parce que c'est les autres bagages ça, ils ont besoin de faire. Pour le moment, c'est habitants pas qu'à faire. Comme ça, workshop là qu'à regarder management Black Segatoka, mais plutôt management FIG Dominique.
En la nouvelle, chef gouvernement OICS discuté manière pour intégration qui concerne les bagages étrangers. Parole ça la sortie du directeur général OICS, Dr. Didikos Jules, pendant le meeting OICS qui prend place en Dominique semaine passée.
À sous-affaire l'affaire l'étranger, manière nous ça mettre tête nous ensemble pour nous ni joint représentation entre ces pays à Olion la terre pour nous représenter qu'on nous plus facile. Puis si chaque pays ni embassy ça va coster en chaque l'argent et nous avons commencé à travailler ça pour comment nous ça mettre tout bail ensemble pour nous travailler ensemble plus facile pour représenter quoi nous.
En la nouvelle, Martinique qui travaille et puis OICS pour meilleure intégration. Parole ça la sortie du député conseil régional Jean Coussol. Monsieur Coussol fait parole cela pendant le meeting OICS qui tient en Dominique semaine passée.
Nous pouvons tirer des produits. Nous avons travaillé sur ça, et bien nous avons découvert qu'il est possible de faire des plastiques et des objets en plastique et puis sargasses. Nous avons tout un programme en ça Martinique. Donc mettez-nous ensemble pour nous développer ça parce que nous avons besoin d'un marché suffisant, nous avons même besoin de quantité suffisante de sargasses parce que si vous commencez à transformer sargasses ça, par exemple Martinique l'année passée, nous tenions 60 000 tonnes de sargasses qui arrivaient. Mais 60 000 tonnes là, pas quand même assez. Si nous réussissons à traiter et si nous prenons avant d'arriver à terre. Parce qu'il faut nous là travailler en technologie pour nous prendre depuis qu'arriver dans la mer avant d'arriver à terre. Donc si nous pouvons faire ça, ça va être des ressources considérables. Nous créer un steering committee, un comité de pilotage qui a travaillé à ça et nous a invité l'OECS à participer à comité de pilotage là. Et puis nous avons toutes ces ressources qui sont dans la mer. Il y a des ressources qu'on peut même connaître. Les ressources en matière d'énergie, ressources en matière fossile, ressources végétales, etc., etc. Tout ça, il faut nous mettre nous tous ensemble pour nous travailler ça. Parti nous en Martinique, parti à encore représenté, nous avons créé ensemble pour une Martinique nouvelle. Together for a new Martinique. Eh bien, ça nous avons proposé, c'est que nous, together for a new Eastern Caribbean.
Et puis finalement, le gouvernement Dominique a tapé support OIS pour implémenter un projet pour faire et développement agricole. Projet ça la catégorie habitants et étudiants North et North-Est payants. Madame Amonia Paul Roll, Road Minister Planning, en charge du programme là.
Projet là, c'est un projet nous qu'a fait avec l'organisation American States, OIS. Yokaba Dominique, plus que 388 $1,000. Et ça nous a fait un projet ça là, c'est nous avons travaillé avec habitants en North et North-East pays là parce que c'est là nous target pour Poverty Reduction Program et nous avons espéré que c'est habitants là qui apprennent l'habitant pour aider yo produit pli produit fait ça yo ka fait un jardin yo meilleur pour taper pli meilleure production nous ni différents components pour projet ça là. So nous ni Farmers Field School où là yo ke aller apprendre comment pour faire bagay en gingembre, oignons avec poultry. Ça c'est un component. L'autre component là c'est où là nous ke introduce technology comment moun ka pousser vegetables, légumes en glow. Tout ça c'est avec technologie. So nous espérons que jeunes monde qui peuvent aller sali koyo en jardin bagay comme ça, yo qui intéressant à ça et yo qui veulent faire qualité agriculture ça là, ça c'est nous créer ça hydroponics. So ça c'est deuxième component là.
Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelle en créole pour à présent. Nous moi c'est McPherson St. Luce. Au revoir.
Coming up next, your tip of the day. Water is your body's best friend. Having 8 glasses of water every day not only cuts down your body fat, but is also great for getting rid of toxins that build up in your system. Have whole fruit. While having juices is convenient, it is best to have whole fruit as they provide better qualities of fiber and are more filling. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow our Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here on the GIS News production team, I'm Nisha Charles. Thanks for watching, and do join us again next time on National Focus.